What's going on, y'all? This is Kel with Plot Blaster. Today I wanted to talk to y'all about using liquid supplements on your food plots and using the Plot Blaster to help you out in doing that. I don't know if any of y'all use liquid supplements already, or if you've never tried them, it's worth a shot. They can help you out a lot. There are all kind of different liquids out. These are all by Domain Outdoor. For about 3 years now, I've been planting Domain stuff exclusively, and I like their products. They seem to work well. Their liquids do as well. But they offer a wide variety of liquid supplements, as do other companies. But in the liquids, you've got stuff like elbow grease by Domain that raises your pH. This is a form of liquid lime or calcium. They offer Crank, which is a 3-18-18 fertilizer. Uh, that is more designed for maybe clovers or legumes or something that doesn't need a lot of nitrogen. And then we got Freight Train, which is a 2500, which is almost like a ammonium nitrate or something like that, that gives you some liquid nitrogen. All these things will give you some immediate results. I mean, they're really fast. This is going to break down in your soil a lot faster than ag lime that may take a couple months to adjust your pH. If you don't have that kind of time, you can use this. Um, these other supplements or whatever, they are going to help you outgrow browse pressure. They give you a lot of quick stuff that's going to get your plants up and going a lot quicker than, say, waiting on a fertilizer to break down or your plant to uptake that. I like to plant my food plots in stages. So, I may have some more mature stuff that's several weeks older than the newer stuff, and that allows the deer to hit this kind of thing when it's young and tender, and it attracts some browse pressure. But they still got this over here, and it just balances out. It evens your browse pressure out, gives this stuff an opportunity to get up. This stuff's up, and it's more established, so the browse pressure is not hurting it so bad. So sometimes, especially in summer food plots, I like to go about half and half with that. But on this particular test plot, we've got some screens in here. I've went around the whole thing with a screen, divided it with a screen. This is Domain Motherload, and man, it's really rocking and rolling. The new growth is rocking and rolling also. But I can spray some 3-18-18 with the cranked over this and really give it a boost, really help it try to catch up, and that helps it outgrow the browse pressure as well. You can tell how well this mother load out here is growing. I mean, this is not from a lack of browse pressure. You can see nipped off tops here and there everywhere you look. The deer are using it. There's not a piece of bare ground out here that doesn't have some deer tracks in it. But because of the fact that whenever it was in early stages like that we just showed you earlier, we were able to come in with some liquid fertilizer and give it a boost. I mean, this stuff had all the fertilizer put on it per the soil samples at the time of planting, but it still just it just gives it a boost and an uptake that's not going to get to these plants. It gives it a foliar nutrient, and it just helps it jump in a major way, and that really helps you outgrow your browse pressure. So that's how liquids can be advantageous to you. I'm not going to say every food plot's going to have these kind of results, because I mean, this is just an outstanding stand for me. It doesn't always turn out this way, but man, this is something to be proud of, and I hope everybody can achieve those kind of results, and I hope we can help you get there. But using the Plot Blaster and putting out some liquids definitely helps. It's not going to hurt a thing. Y'all, one of the main things we're trying to do with the liquid fertilizer today too is all this stuff was fertilized per the soil sample, and it was designed for a legume mix, so it doesn't have a lot of nitrogen in it since legumes make their own nitrogen. But these screens, this is an incognito screen. It's just now coming up, just a little over ankle high, and you can see in the color in this stuff that it's lacking some nitrogen pretty good. So we're going to spray it with Freight Train, and we're going to use a side swapper boom to do that so that we can go down beside it and not have to run through these narrow strips. I've got screens all the way around this plot and several in it, dividing it up because we have it planted in several different stages. So like I talked about earlier, This stuff's highly concentrated. And if you'll look at the back of the jug on a lot of this stuff, I mean, especially this is lime, and especially in a foliar application, you're going to see that it's going to require you to put 10 parts to 1 water per product. So that means for every 10 gallons of water, you're only going to be able to put 1 gallon of this. And it also recommends you to put 2.5 or 1 to 3 gallons of elbow grease per acre. So if you were putting 2.5 gallons of this per acre and you needed 10 gallons of water per part of this, then that means you're going to need 25 gallons of water per acre. So what you got to do in order to be able to successfully use this stuff is make sure that you have it properly diluted. And you follow that first. The next thing is to figure out how many gallons per acre of water you're putting out, or how many gallons an acre solution you're putting out. Each plot blaster in the instruction manual is going to give you a reference point there on your speed, PSI, and it's going to have a full tip chart there that's showing you how many gallons per acre you're putting out. Calibration's never a bad idea. It's always a good idea to calibrate your sprayer, but I find a lot of times in a food plot application, a lot of guys just aren't going to do that. If you're not, at least follow your reference there with your tip chart. I do recommend you calibrate it because different pumps, different pressures, different hose lengths, all kind of stuff can affect that. But either way, what I find with this is that I'm gonna need to slow down. So in order to put out that much volume of solution, I've got to run at a much lower speed. So I may only be running 2 miles, 2.5 miles per hour, and trying to get there. But I also may have to go over that food plot twice in order to achieve that. Sometimes even 3 times, depending on what I'm trying to do. But take your maps, plot your plot out, figure out how much surface area you've got there, read your tip chart and those recommendations. Utmost in importance is try to figure out this dilution, gallons, and get that solution mixed right. Then you're going to try to figure out how I can apply that over this amount of space. That's very important. It's very achievable. It's not that difficult. We'll help in any way we can. You always can reach out to me and ask any questions that you may have, and I'll try to answer in any way I can on how you can achieve those results. Especially if you've already calibrated your sprayer and you know what it's doing, and you say, Kel, how can I dilute this enough to make this work, or whatever. I'll be willing to help in any way I can. Reach out to us anytime. But these things can help you a lot. These liquids can help you a lot. They can make a food plot much more successful. I've seen it. We'll do a comparison sometimes on putting it out and not putting it out. But it really helps, and it'll really help you outgrow your browse pressure, or help you outgrow, or adjust your pH in times whenever you need to. But anyway, give us a look at www.plotblaster.com. We'll help in any way we can. We appreciate your business.